Okay, let me tell you a few words about Cyberoam. If you don't understand anything, I'm here for you, so please ask, please Yuri to translate. I would be combining the PowerPoint slides with the real example of the appliance. I don't like too much marketing, but still, this is, well, you're like first meeting with Cyberoam, so I still have to tell about marketing a little. But mostly I would like to focus on our features and on benefits, on challenges we address with our devices at customers' network. I already know that some of you guys are selling WatchGuard and Fortinet. Very good. I would like to tell about the differences, especially with Fortinet. That is a good big player, I would say, in the UTM industry. You can stop like any time with any questions you have. I won't be reading the slides because I'm not so good. I mean, I can read Cyrillic, but not so fast. I know that Yuri already told about the company, so let me talk about solutions more. The family of the products, we could say those are 4 lines. And let me skip the last one. This is for home users with a small mini UTM, we call them. I would like to focus on the first 3. First one, network security, UTMs, and next generation firewalls. I'm pretty sure that you know that some vendors are selling UTMs, some are selling next generation firewalls, some, like we or Fortinet, we are selling both. What makes the difference? The size of the customer network. We say that up to 500 users, it's SMB. I know that in Ukraine we can say 200-300, in Poland also, 200-300 is already like enterprise class customer. So we have different models. In front of you, you can see a few data sheets. We have models starting with CR15, ending with CR2500. What it means, we can secure the networks of 5-10 people companies, up to 4,000 people using just one box. So our core, the most important product is UTM and next generation firewall. Let's say from 200-300 users, we have 3 boxes that we call 5 boxes actually. We call next generation firewall. You can see on the data sheet the symbols of our models. Those more or less suggest you the number of users you can protect. Like you have CR15, you can protect 15-20 user network. If you have CR100, you can protect 150 up to 170 users and so on. So first line UTMs and next generation firewalls. The second solution, we call it Cyberoam Central Console. Those of you that are familiar with Fortinet, CCC, Cyberoam Central Console, is FortiManager. The main purpose, if customer has a headquarters, let's say in Kiev, and then a few branches, Donetsk, Lviv, Kharkov, then they can install small boxes in the branches, one big unit in headquarters, and they have that Cyberoam Central Console to centrally manage everything from one point, one console, instead of logging individually to all the devices. The third thing, I would say one of the most interesting ones, this is reporting. We call it in Cyberoam iView. This is the main difference between Cyberoam and Fortinet. We provide reporting built-in and it is free of cost. Still, it is very advanced professional reporting solution. We can generate, if we calculate all reports, we can generate 1,200 reports. And I will show you that on that working appliance, because then we will see some users. In Poland it's 1 hour back, so it's about 3 o'clock, so still people are working. So we will see what we can see from the device, what's going on in their network. What I said that iView is pretty interesting. Another reason out of that is free of cost and it's built in every single appliance except the smallest one. The CR15 doesn't have reporting. All other models in Cyberoam family have reporting built in. What's so special about iView? You can also install it, you can download it as a software, and it's open source software. You can download it from sourceforge.net, you can install it on Windows, you can install it on Linux, and for example, if you have a customer who is using Fortinet, in Poland this is pretty popular situation. Fortinet is like the leader of the market. Many customers are using Fortinet, but they can't afford FortiAnalyzer, that dedicated reporting solution from Fortinet, because it's too expensive. Usually they have money to protect the network, to buy UTM, to deploy FortiGate, but with FortiAnalyzer it's not so easy. So then our resellers contact those customers asking if you have some security solution. They say yes, we have Fortinet, we are more or less happy with that solution. So then the second question is if you have reporting solution. And then in most cases the answer is no, because it's too expensive. So our reseller can say, okay, please download iViews. Free of cost, doesn't cost you anything except your time. You can install it, you can integrate it with Fortinet and start collecting the logs, generating reports, and see how it works. Once that FortiGate appliance gets older, Fortinet reseller can contact them saying, look, your appliance is pretty old, you can exchange it for a new FortiGate. But at the same time or earlier, our partner can also contact that customer saying, look, your appliance is getting older, you can buy new Cyberoam, reporting is built in, the price will be cheaper, the performance will be at least the same or the better, and you already know that reporting module. So customer will think twice before making the decision. This is, we call it catching point. Coming back to that situation when there is a headquarter and there are the branches. Sometimes company is saying we want all the reports in one location, in headquarters. Then exactly the same as FortiAnalyzer, we can offer them iView as a hardware appliance. As you can see on the picture, there are 3 different models of iView. The customer can purchase them as a hardware with a warranty and can collect logs both from Kiev and all other branches. This is our strategy, we call it triple A. From one side it's pretty obvious, but still not all vendors are following that. We say that Cyberoam are user-oriented or user-centric solutions. User is the most important part of the information system. And what we do? We have a user, let's say Yuri. Yuri logs into the system using the login password. He gets authenticated. If we are using Active Directory, LDAP, Radius, local database, doesn't matter. We can integrate all of them with Cyberoam. Once the user is authenticated, then we give him some rights, access rights to browse the websites, to run the applications. We can give him some bandwidth using the QoS policy. And at the end of the day, at the end of the week, we would like to see what was going on the network. We would like to see the logs, we would like to see the reports. And that's the third part that we call auditing using iView solution. I said I don't like marketing, but I believe that most of you have seen Gartner Magic Quadrants in different categories. This, what you can see on the slide, this is Magic Quadrant for UTMs, and I'm not sure if it's visible enough. Oh. Cyberoam is on the border between visionaries and the leaders. And you might ask the question why we are not the leaders. One of the most obvious reasons is that we are the youngest company from the companies you can see, like SonicWall, Checkpoint, Fortinet, 10, 15, 20 years of history. And Cyberoam is like 6-7 years old. So we need a little more time, but if you can look, we were growing and we were going up. So I hope soon we will cross that magic line. Some of you might be familiar. If yes, then that will be kind of a summary. What is UTM? UTM is just a combination of different security and network features built into one box, into one device. So instead of buying different anti-spam, antivirus, IPS, firewall, content filtering solutions, you can just buy one box. You have one management console, one agreement, one warranty, one service with the provider. Those are all the modules I would like to discuss, but we divided the presentation into challenges. So there is some challenge to address by end customer, and I will show you how we can address those challenges, how we can solve them using Cyberoam. So this is just a summary that once there is only one box, we reduce the cost. As I remember what was written there in English, we reduce the cost. There is one agreement, one management console. We need to send the person just for one training instead of set of trainings. So challenge number one, bandwidth. All devices, starting with the smallest one, CR15, have built-in gigabit ports. You won't find any like older, slower ports like 100 megabits. All ports are 1 gigabit Ethernet. This is what you can see here is our new series. We call it NG, pure marketing, NG like next generation. We released it last winter, so they're like 1 year old. And what we are proud of, those are the fastest UTMs in the classes that are available on the market. If we take 30-person company, 50 people company, 100 people company, and we take Cyberoam, let's take WatchGuard, let's take SonicWall, let's take Fortinet, and we compare the parameters, Cyberoam will be the fastest. I'm not saying that if we take like all features, usually like on the datasheet of Cyberoam you can see the firewall throughput, IPS throughput, antivirus throughput, web filtering throughput, VPN throughput. So I'm not saying that in all throughputs we will be the fastest, especially that the competition is not sleeping. Like Fortinet released new models of 30D, 40D, 104DD. So they are also pushing the parameters, but still, if once we compare them, we are the fastest one. And I will show you the few comparison with competitors later during our meeting. What else might be interesting for you and might be interesting for the customers? We call it Flexi Port. Flexi Port is an empty slot in the appliance starting with CR200, so 180, 200 users and more. We can put additional ports that we need. And this image will describe everything what I meant. So with, let's take CR200, ING, you can see 6 built-in gigabit Ethernet ports. But let's say that company is growing, or even it's not growing, but is using already some fiber link connections and needs fiber link ports, either 1 gigabit or 10 gigabit. Then you can just buy the special module, and depending on the requirement, it might be 1 gigabit fiber ports or 10 gigabit fiber ports. So instead of replacing the whole device for a few $1,000s, you just buy one module that costs $1,000 or $1,500, and you can put it, and you can extend the possibilities of your network. When you take the competitor products, of course they have built-in SFP or SFP plus ports, but then you need like twice or 3 times bigger appliance that is also more expensive. If we take even bigger appliance from Cyberoam, like CR500 and CR750, we provide 2 flexi slots. So, for example, there are in CR500 and 750, there are 8 built-in ports, and there are 2 slots like this. So company can put additional 8 gigabit ports to have 16 altogether, and then they can put 4 10 gigabit fiber ports, SFP plus ports, or 8 SFP 1 gigabit fiber ports. It's up to their requirements and their needs. Yuri was already describing that, but let me add my 2 cents. Application recognition. Everybody on the market is doing that, at least every serious network security company. There is just a difference. Some of them provide 2,000 applications, some 1,000, some like Checkpoint 5,000 applications. We provide 2,000 and something, 2030, 2040, pretty similar to Fortinet, but it's the matter how different companies, how different vendors call the applications. Like if we take Checkpoint and we check the database of 5,000 applications, almost half of those applications are actually websites. So they are not applications like Skype or Odnoklassniki. I will be discussing in a second, but those are just the website. I think that Yuri started saying, I think that it was a question from Oleg, that Facebook is not just Facebook. It's Facebook Wall, it's Facebook Chat, Facebook Games, Facebook applications, upload of pictures, videos, and so on. And this is pretty important nowadays. Most of marketing teams in different companies need to have an access to Facebook to, let's say, develop a fan page of the company. So let them use Facebook. Let them give the rights for updating Facebook wall, for uploading pictures, uploading videos. But at the same time, let's block application games, because those are sometimes not really secure application, and sometimes we just don't want them to waste the time. Instead of working, they are playing. But let's go even into more details. My favorite example is, I'm not sure, I didn't understand so much of Yuri if he was mentioning that, but if yes, I will just repeat that. We can define the policy. Let's say the company allows users to use Facebook, allows employees to use Facebook, but only for 30 minutes a day, during the lunch break, coffee break, and etc. So then Yuri is coming to work, he's logging to his computer at 9 o'clock, he's logging to Facebook at the same time and using it for 15 minutes. Then during lunch at 1 he logs again and he's using Facebook between 1 and 1:15. 30 minutes are done, and then for 24 hours he can't use Facebook. Next day he's coming to work, he can use it. The best thing about that is administrator doesn't have to count that time. This is the job of the device. So the device is counting that by itself. Administrator just creates the policy for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, up to the organization, up to administrator. One more comment about this slide. Very popular applications that most of administrators block nowadays are peer-to-peer applications. And there are new peer-to-peer applications released every week or every month. All applications in Cyberoam are also categorized, like peer-to-peer, streaming, media, proxy applications, and so on. So once administrator blocks peer-to-peer category, then he doesn't care, he doesn't have to check if there is new peer-to-peer application on the market, because it's Cyberoam's development team to watch for the new applications and add their signatures to the database. What administrator cares is just to block peer-to-peer application. And if we check it right now, it would be, I think, 48 applications. If we check it next week or within 2 weeks' time, there will be 50 applications, 60 applications, etc. So just to make the work of administrator easier. And as Yuri was describing, we can filter the application using a few things. One is category, one is risk level. I will show you what is risk level on the example of that real device, characteristics of the application, and technology used. And as Yuri was mentioning, we can combine all those things. So we can define the QoS policy for user, group of users. We can define it for applications, group of applications. We can put the schedule, the calendar, and then one of my examples is the CEO who is using video conferencing. And let's say he's using it only once a week on Friday between 12 and 2 o'clock, just for 2 hours. So we can define the policy that for his video conferencing application, he will get 5 megabit bandwidth out of 10 megabit that is available in the company, just for 2 hours for himself. And once he's done with video conferencing, then the bandwidth comes back to the company. So we don't have to like freeze it, keep it for the whole week for him. He needs it just 2 hours. Okay, let's define the policy just for 2 hours. So it's pretty flexible. Web categories. We have built-in categories, default categories, over 80 categories like banks, social media, information technology, adults, and so on. But also we can define our own categories. And let's skip PowerPoint for a few minutes. Here you can see the categories that are built in, like alcohol, astrology, blogs, etc. There are 80 of them. But we can also define our own policy. I have just read-only access to that appliance, so I won't mess anything, because as I said, this is like production network. What we can do, we can either type, I'm not sure if I will remember it correctly, we can type it manually, all the addresses, but at the same time sometimes we might have the list of addresses. I can't imagine if we should like type 100 or 1000 website addresses manually. So we can also import them from TXT or CSV file, and then they are downloaded automatically. Also, sometimes we have different websites with different endings, .com, .ua, .ru, .pl, and so on. So we can just define the keyword, and then all websites that have that keyword in their address will be blocked or will be allowed according to the policy. And let's do a test, because usually if it's not like Ukrainian vendor, you can say, okay, the categories are probably from UK, from America, and so on. So let's make a local test. Please provide me some Ukrainian address. Any. It might be bad.
Какой-нибудь украинский адрес, скажи, самый популярный.
I know EX already.
Не говорили, что
I will start with that.
под это. Любой.
But I remember it from different meetings, so let's try a completely different one.
Torrents.dev.ua.
If it might be shorter or...
попробуйте.
Зайцев нет.
Сейчас нужно еще сайт категории, да?
Через точку.
Частий сайт є.
Okay, click search.
Є частий сайт скласифікований Cyberoam.
Чи є ще немає? Так, на базі. почему...
But since Vadim is from Secnet, maybe somebody else would like to provide also some address.
А попробуй еще itc.ua. itc.ua.
We are checking at one customer and there was like 9 to 1 for Cyberoam. There was just one website that wasn't categorized.
Зайцев коррелируется еще?
Что не дошло еще.
ТСФ, ТС.
Кириллица не будет искать?
ТС. Да.
Не клюк, кажется. Клюк.
Там неправильно написано.
Is it also information technology?
Maybe. Вместо Y, I.
Там без T. Там C вместо T.
Там C вместо T и вместо S. S нету там. Там C.
C.
TC.
Как?
Нет. Y, C.
Вот так.
That's it? Suppose that website is not here. We have self-service portal.
О, обновилось.
I got one from Poland lately, from the same category. Oh, okay. Yes, 2 days ago I got email from customer that we have also adult address that wasn't categorized, so I just put it last night into I just sent a request like over here, and it wasn't even 24 hours, it was like 16 hours, and it was already updated. But let's say we have different case, like some of your websites wasn't categorized right, because our development team doesn't know your local market. And let's say it was banking, it was some forum about banking, and they categorized it as a bank, not as a forum. So you can also say that, okay, you don't like it, you don't need it in porn, but in some, let's say, dating and matrimonials. And then you put just that CAPTCHA, and within 24 hours it is updated. Like every day, between a few hundred and few thousand websites are being added. And I'm getting the report, and your appliances are getting new, not subscription, new signatures, new addresses also every day. Before those guys will stop working and they work till 4 o'clock, I will show you one thing. This is traffic discovery. You can see all the network applications that are being run in Softex at this particular moment by their employees. So you can recognize Facebook. Gadu Gadu is like you have that messenger for odnoklasniki that I will show in a second also. This is our Polish instant messenger. Skype, Spotify, some other streaming. That, Oleg, we can see that UltraSurf like since Monday that somebody is using at Softex. The question is why they are using proxy. Facebook chat. Nasza klasa website is like odnoklasniki website. Wikipedia, Gmail. And what if you click plus, you will see like NA, not available, because there is new administrator there and he just misconfigured the rule. But in a proper way, you should be able to see the list of the users that are using that application at this moment. Very useful tool for all emergencies with the internet connection or internet speed. Like in Poland we are saying there is a fire, where when administrator comes to work in the morning, everybody starts calling him saying that we have no internet or internet is so slow that what's going on. So administrator can do just 2 clicks and can find out. Please notice that these are some statistics. How much data was uploaded, how much data was sent, and what is the current usage of the bandwidth. So there might be YouTube. YouTube is the best example. 500 megabytes. Administrator clicks plus, you see 20 users are watching YouTube because somebody went to work with the interesting link and funny link, and everybody is watching it, and internet is like almost died. But also this is a pretty good feature if we just want to monitor what's going on in the network, what applications. Like this is pretty, maybe not dangerous, but the question is why somebody is using proxy in the company, because he doesn't want or she doesn't want to be monitored. So that would be for further investigation. And I was telling you about applications. As I said, over 2,000, and to prove that I wasn't lying to you, that would be the last thing I would like to do. What I misspelled. So odnoklassniki web messenger, odnoklassniki Android. This is just an example. And that's what, and those are, we have about 20 different categories, like peer-to-peer, proxy, instant messenger, general internet, and so on. And how to define the sample policy. I won't have rights to add it, so let's try to edit something. I was mentioning that, let's say in Facebook you have different things. I wasn't mentioning everything, like Facebook Android client, Facebook BlackBerry, Facebook Chat, Facebook Chat on Yahoo, Facebook Games, Facebook iPhone, Facebook Like plugin. So with such a details, like on the website, you can see that you can like something or dislike. So you can also block such a thing, so they won't be displayed on the website. So very granular, a lot of details, and also some YouTube, Skype, and some other streaming media. And this is what you have seen on the slide. You have those categories. So we can say we are interested only in peer-to-peer. And for now, 48 applications are defined as peer-to-peer. We can also put streaming media, internet, radios, internet TV also. Here the list is much bigger, longer, 276. But if we don't want all of them, we can also select just one particular application we like, we don't like, or up to the administrator. Oh, one more thing about web categories. You can also define the message. If you decide to block anything to employee, then sometimes in Poland it's pretty popular. If you block Facebook, they start calling, they don't have internet because one website is not working. So to reduce that time of phone calls from users to the administrator, we can educate them. We can put the company logo on the top, and at the bottom we can say user this and this, that address from that category is blocked because of our internal user internet policy. So again, we reduce the work for administrator. BYOD. New trend. Users are not only using PCs, laptops nowadays, they use Android devices, the tablets, smartphones, they use Apple devices, iPads, iPhones, etc. We can also monitor that. We can also enforce the authentication on those mobile devices. Yuri was mentioning that layer 8, this is pure like marketing expression. We say that now the devices are more intelligent. They don't only see applications, but we can combine everything with the users. And I will show you a few examples when I will be showing iView reporting module. That is what Yuri already explained. So we have different users, different resources, and different privileges, blocking or allowing. Yes, reporting I would like to show you in real time. Also, interesting feature, there are some companies that only work, let's say, within Ukraine. They don't work with any international partners from any other countries. What the administrator can do in such a company, they can block all the connections coming from countries like China, Iraq, Iran, and so on, to minimize, so the device doesn't have to analyze so much traffic and doesn't have to analyze the tryings from China hackers, for example. China hackers, maybe it's not a good example because they hack computers in Brazil, Poland, other countries, and then they attack from those countries, but still we can reduce a lot the traffic that needs to be analyzed by the device. And from one firewall rule, we can do that. Firewall. One of the unique points and the differences between Cyberoam and most of the competitors, we are saying that we would like to have the appliance that is like pretty advanced and professional with many security features, but at the same time we would like to that device to be as easy as possible for daily management. Administrators nowadays have so many solutions, so many systems, so many devices to manage, that if we give them another difficult solution, they need like few weeks training, certified trainings, and then reading a lot of documentation, then they will say, we have enough. And let me show you also that on that real appliance. We define the firewall rule. That upper part, name of the rule, some description, zones, source, destination, host, services, schedule. This is like something we can find in any vendor. This is like regular standard firewall rule we create. But we added something like pretty simple strategy. We also added all the modules we are talking about today. Application filter, web filter, IPS, WAF I will describe in a second, antivirus, anti-spam, QoS, then if we have few internet providers we can do load balancing, and then reporting. Like we open one page and we can configure every single module instead of clicking through 3, 5 or different numbers of different modules. I showed you that different links, and let me show you one more thing. In Softex, they use 2 internet links from 2 internet providers. You can see them here, Netia and NASP, those are operators. You can see IP addresses, and you can see green means that the link is available, is up. And that WWAN, every single appliance starting from 15 up to 2500 has a USB port, and that USB port we can use to connect to plug 3G, 4G modem. So it's like backup internet connection. It is especially popular amongst SMB customers. Sometimes they can't afford the second internet provider. Sometimes there is no second internet provider. They can plug USB 3G, 4G modem, and for a very cheap price they can have a backup internet link. And there is no limitation, like we don't produce 3G modems, so you can use any like Huawei or whatever models are available to connect and to have internet.